on the list of items. Can we merchandise in the movie industry? Like Away Bus is the most current movie we have. And then just like Shatter did for the Rain album, where you have logo, you have shirts, you have shoes, socks, shorts. Can we do same for movies? And will our industry support it? Tony Asankuma.
Yeah.
No.
Good morning to the listeners. Okay, so merchandising, just like you explained, what Shatta did with the Rain album was more or less precedented. We haven't seen that in a very long time.
Yeah. And up until now,
yes,
folks are still using it.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that on that scale before. We've had several artists or people try venture into merchandising, getting some t-shirts, some clothing line and all that kind of stuff. But for the Rain album, for instance, it took it to an entire new level where you had people spraying their cars,
tattoo the Rain album. Yeah,
I think it's something I would personally love to see for our film industry because it's all part of the film business. If you go abroad, then that's where we try as much as possible to say. Some people don't like it when we make reference to Hollywood and all of that, but they are up there. We aspire to get to that level. So whatever footprints or whatever blueprints they have, it's only fair that we strike a comparison and try to emulate some of the things that work for them. I think merchandising is something that our film industry really needs. We keep complaining that our producers are not making much money from cinema premieres and all that, and even with the CD sales defunct. What other venues can they generate additional income from the film? Merchandising is one of them, obviously. I think the conversation starts from creating an experience that the audience would like to take home as well. I think last year when we were talking about the Zylofon as fans venturing into CD sales, I made reference to the fact that in the chain of distribution, the CD sales is almost like buying a CD in outside world is almost like buying a souvenir or a collector's item to some extent, because majority of their sales is made in the cinema. So why do you think people end up even buying CD sales? Because they want buying CDs, because they want to have some form of memorabilia to hold on to and say that, okay, I have this collection of films.
Yeah.
They might not even watch it, but they want to have it. And it's because of the experience that comes with the film itself. There are several films that, if you should check the numbers, okay, they do not really make much money from the cinemas, but were able to sell a lot of merchandising to be able to generate additional income. A big example is the Harry Potter series. I remember when I first saw Harry Potter, I was in class 4, primary 4, and the following term, one guy brought an Harry Potter school bag, and we were all excited about it. You know, it became sort of a thing. We started buying Harry Potter pencils. If you are lucky, you can get a Fruit Flags or
Tom and Jerry,
those kind of stuff. You see, it creates money because the film producers own the licensing rights for that particular let's say title or the characters or images used in the film. So if a third party wants to cash in, they just have to seek permission from the filmmakers, and then they can create different lines of merchandising or merchandise that they can sell to various segments of the public. Imagine this. Let's say with what happened with the Rain album, for instance. Imagine Shatta was getting a kickback on every single merchandise that was sold with the Rain symbol. Imagine how much money he would have paid. All those people who are selling socks, phone cases, and all those things in the streets. Imagine they were paying even 1% or 10% of their sales to them, being the holder of that particular brand. Imagine how much money he would have made just off merchandising. It's not people do not buy those, do not necessarily have to buy those things or artifacts because but because they sort of want to be associated with that brand. They want people to identify that they've gotten the Rain album,
Yeah.
or they subscribe to the agenda that comes with the Rain album. That's why someone will slap a Rain sticker on their car for no reason. It doesn't enhance the beauty of the car.
But they want you to know they have an affiliation.
Yes, they want you to know that that's where they rep. It doesn't add extra features to the car. It doesn't make the car bulletproof. But they would want that sticker on there because they subscribe to that whole Rain album agenda and we want people to know. And it's the same thing that can transcend in our film industry. When you make a good film that people are able to have some sort of emotional and psychological attachment to, then they will be willing to go the extra mile acquiring all the forms of merchandise that will spring up from the film. Imagine a film like, let's say, okay, the biggest film now is Away Bus. Yeah, imagine people get so emotionally attached to the film that someone decides to sell Away Bus t-shirts. Some people will just want to buy it, so others will know that they've gone to see the film and they enjoyed it. I remember late last year, this film came out, Lucky. There was a character in the film that wore a yellow shirt. So throughout the film, most of their posters and their branding had yellow in it. So it became more or less a symbol for them. The yellow became more or less of a symbol. And after I saw the film, everywhere I saw the color yellow, I thought of Lucky.
Wow.
Everywhere I saw anyone wearing a yellow shirt, the first thing that would come to my mind is Lucky.
Become Lucky.
You get it. And it's all about being able to create that emotional and psychological attachment with the film and the audience. The experience in the cinema can live beyond the cinema. And it's through this merchandising that some of these things happen.
But Tony, sorry. Taking our industry into consideration, can that be sustained? Even the CDs, folks are not buying.
You see, the question is, can we start it?
Right.
Once we are able to start it, then we can go on to the conversation of how do we sustain it. I believe that it can be started.
It can be started.
I believe it can be started.
Is there a market for it?
Of course, there's a market for everything, depending on how well you package it and how well you make it appealing to those who should be your target audience. We've said it time with our number here that there's still a lot of people, even if you should put a cinema behind their window, they will not go. They will not see the need to go because they've not been
the culture.
Yes,
they've not been accustomed to that
exactly.
culture.
You will take an extra effort for you to get these people to understand that this is a normal thing. This is what you would enjoy. This is why you should come and buy a ticket to come and watch this movie. You see, and once we are able to do all of that and start that culture of getting people to understand that you can actually buy merchandise associated with a particular movie, then we would kickstart that particular line of monetizing our films or making money from our films. And then the next question would be, how do we sustain it? A film like The Burial of Kojo, for instance,
it's doing so well.
Yes, what's the director did, who obviously comes from a music background, he's compiled all the soundtracks on that film and put it on vinyl. That's what we call the
record,
the gramophone,
big round ones.
Yes, and it's being sold. So maybe on this side of the world, people might not see the reason why they should go and buy a vinyl copy of the soundtrack of The Burial of Kojo. But outside the world, those who have seen outside of Ghana, those who have seen the film and understand that particular culture and have fallen in love with the film, won't hesitate to grab that vinyl because they know it's an extension of the film. It's a memory that would come anytime they should see that particular souvenir or artifact. It draws their mind back to the film. And then even anytime you should listen to any music on that particular sound, on that list of soundtrack, they are reminded of some of the important scenes in the film. And these are things that we need to start. It sounds impossible, it sounds outlandish, but we can do it. Imagine t-shirts. Look, who would have ever thought that till now? And with no disrespect, the rain symbol is even more popular than most of the songs on the album.
On the album.
People know the symbol, but they do not know most of the songs on the album. They see the symbol anywhere, and they can immediately associate
With the rain.
with the rain album. But they might hear a song, and it will take a while or a certain back and forth before they can identify that this particular song was indeed on that album. You see, so all these things, part of marketing, extend the life cycle of the film. We always talk about where do the films go after the premiere. It's because we do not encourage the films to live longer than outside the premiere. Even back to the issue of Hollywood or people in the United States actually buying hard copies of DVDs as collector's items. It's even for them, after the cinema releases, they have video on demand releases. That's where they can watch the movie on a paid platform
VODs.
online. Why would they even go an extra mile to even sell CDs when they can watch the movie online for free? But they know there's some sort of sentimental attachment to having or possessing that particular CD, because maybe it would come with additional pictures or some additional features like behind the scenes footage or some very exclusive material.
Just for that.
Recently we heard news about Kofi Kingston winning at WWE, winning a championship at the WWE. One of the things that has made the WWE very successful is their merchandising. See, their tickets are extremely expensive. The least you can get on a pay-per-view night is about $500. Even though they are able to pull in the numbers, they still go an extra mile to ensure that they sell more t-shirts. Because when they sell the shirts, it's additional income and the brand still extends. There are people who've never been to an event but have souvenirs, have memorabilia from those particular pay-per-views that they bought, which extends the life cycle of the brand. And it's something that is very, marketing-wise, it sounds too difficult, but it's very simple. That we can use the Rain album as a blueprint and then try and juxtapose to our film industry and see how it will work.
Right. Thank you very much, Tony Asankuma. That was deep, long, but very sensible. For real, nephew, visuals. What's your take too? Can we start merchandising for our films, and would it be sustained? Do we have the market?
Yes, we can. You know, just as Martinita said earlier, now he's almost 50. It's 50 years now. Yes, we can. Because why not? But we need to have the actual movies, as in the quality. It's not just any movies, but the actual movies that could really trigger people, that could really move people.
That could move people.
That could really move people to want to go watch or want to be interested or want to be part of it. For example, we've just, as he rightly mentioned earlier in one of his points, that Away Bus. I was in the cinema for Away Bus, despite the whole trailers and all that, and you know, I tried to sit to watch it. You know, I sat down and I was watching Away Bus. There's so many, you know, turns in there. You could see some little bit of action, comedy. You could see some. Everything is just comedy. You understand? With such a movie, you could go all out to even merchandise with people, even give companies, those who have problems and things, even their conference, their coffee in their conference room where they're having seminars and all that, just for them to laugh away laughter. I mean, just to have some laughter in there. You know, at the end of the day, because after every meeting there's a little bit of item 7 or item 13. Within that item 13, then the cinema with blue screen, you can also slot it in. Those are part of the merchandising that we're talking about. Like, I don't want to go to Hollywood or say, or they just go to South Africa. The movie Dark Tower, after filming, or every movie we film after filming, they print out t-shirts, print out stickers, you know, for all crews, for cast. You see it on their cars. even when they dry. Even I have so many t-shirts of movies. Every movies are filmed. You understand? Even jackets. Even when you're on a different set, putting on that alone, some people, oh, you know, this movie, even if you forgot it, you will remember, oh, this movie, so this set of people are part of these movies. So in such way, the print caps, you know, it with the name of the movies and title on it and everything. So if we could do such, just like he rightly said, with Shatawale, how Shatawale did
For Rain album.
yeah, we'll go a long way. And I think I just hope that the producers and directors of Awebas will take a step through that channel to see how to pave that way with such a movie for us to kickstart. That's all I could do.
But with most of our producers, you know, individually financing their movie projects, sometimes they even find it difficult to raise the funds for the movie proper. Now, if you want to, by extension, start merchandising, that's a whole new budget that you would have to raise for that too. And for an industry where you don't have external support to fund our projects, again, is it going to be easy to pull off?
How do we do this in the first place? So, I mean, Arnold, first of all, that's why we have the marketers. How do we market? If you're a business person, you don't need to stand, you don't need to get up to do everything yourself. You bring in your team, the marketers and things, and one or two faces, and you think you could pitch. It's like pitching for a project or for a tender. Once you go to a particular company that print out t-shirt or any other thing like that, it's not for you to just put in your money. You could come into a barter, you could come into an agreement, you could come, okay fine, what is this movie all about? What can we achieve from it? What do people learn from it? That you need to put on the table for them to see. Even with that, once they get to review the movies and to see how many people, because on that day, believe you me, I've been to premieres and things, to most of his premiere, but that was one of the biggest premiere, apart from the National Theatre. I mean, for Silverbird, that particular day, as at 9 o'clock, we still have more than 1,500 people tripping in.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it was choked. You can't even walk. And
I know how that place feels.
You understand?
It's choked.
When it's so choked, I don't want to use the F word. You know, when it's so choked, so in such way, you could sit with some companies, tell them, okay, fine, we want to do this, we want to extend it this way. Okay, fine, it's out of 100%. You just give us 30. Take the 70.
Take the 70. Finance it.
Finance it.
But take 70.
Take 70, but we still have the right to it. Then you meet one or two people, different channels. You know, so doing, you could, you know, it's sometimes we say, oh, we don't have the money, you won't do everything on your own. Just put it in, because if you don't try, you won't get it. It's all about trying. So you don't need to put all your money into it first, but rather pitch to people you think or you believe that could support. That could support. In such way, we could, you know, progress and get some more results.
Awele, you know, we keep complaining that we don't have enough cinemas. Folks are not buying CDs. We have just a few cinemas, and even those ones, after premiering, the movie lasts in the cinema for like a week or two, and it's done. Just a few production houses, like the Kofas, like the old films, they would actually do a national tour, like do Kumasi, do the northern region, all in a bid to make money. Would merchandising not be one area they should also focus on, so that if folks don't even buy the CDs and attend the premiering, they would buy the merchandise and you could still make money from that?
Thank you very much, Arnold. Let me first start by saying that we are not new to merchandising. It's not a new thing to us. Growing up, we have all patronized merchandise items. As we speak now, when you come to my house, my floor mat is Harry Potter.
Your floor mat is Harry Potter.
Yes, a grown man like me. You see, my son likes PJ Maxx, and his birthday cake, PJ Maxx, T-shirt, PJ Maxx. Growing up, we've seen Accra House of Folk, we've seen Asante Kotoko. We've patronized merchandise items from from these teams, from jerseys and other flags and other stuff. So it is not a new thing to us. But when it comes to our movie industry, that is where the problem is. It's an alien culture in our movie industry. We are not used to it. And it looks like the market doesn't even exist for it at all. Yes, but the truth of the matter is, everything can be created. I believe that when we put in conscious effort, when we decide that we will push it and create a demand for it, we will get it. But let me first of all point out the likely problems why this might be difficult or may seem or sound to be impossible. One, there is a break in the value chain when it comes to film distribution. Now, when we are talking about the director-producer, the director-producer. Every work stands on or rests on their shoulders. We cannot do everything. As a producer, under normal circumstances, your job ends when you produce your master copy. Your job ends. The rest should be taken up by somebody else. But this is the case where you have to fight it through. Then the burden of trying to merchandise. It shouldn't even be my headache as a producer. There should be an entity that takes care of that. The only thing is to license them. Go ahead, do it. Until we get there, it will be very, very difficult. Elsewhere, that is what happens. Have you worn a Superman t-shirt, used a Superman shoe, anything Superman, Spider-Man, the toys in your house, Spider-Man? It's not the producer who comes to sell it to you. It is not even produced by the producer. Somebody is doing that. We can do the same. But when we do it, I ask myself, where would the money go? Even when we succeed, where would the money go? Because in this country, we don't even have respect for patent rights, intellectual property. We don't have respect for it. Shatta Wale's Rain album, you see it on the back of phones. The logo is on the back of phones, on t-shirts. Widespread. You ask yourself, how much of that amount goes to Shatta? It will shock you that nothing goes to him. People are making money out of that. You get it. So that is another problem. If we are not able to structure that system where I license Arnold as an entity, that I have produced this film, produce the merchandise, sell them, make money, and give me this percentage. And then you the one and there is nothing we can do about it. You see, so these are some of the problems. But that notwithstanding, I still believe that if we decide that we want to do this, if we practically put in what we are supposed to put in to make it happen, it can happen. It is not very far from us. Just that it looks like we are not ready. That is the only problem. It looks like we are not ready. It shouldn't be our headache as producers. Because we keep asking the question. After the film, and let's not forget the fact that merchandising is not only limited to t-shirts, pens, even the soundtrack to the film is a merchandise. Anything, curtains. People, you go to people's homes and they have curtains, Chelsea curtains, bedspread curtain, handkerchief curtain, all these things. You get it. And then one other problem I see is that most of the times we produce movies and then we are in a rush to show the movie. We don't really plan very well and factor all other aspects into it. We are just, our main interest after shooting the movie is to showcase it, do the premiering, and that is it. But I believe that all these things should be well planned and well structured. When we are able to do that, then we can talk about making merchandise out of it and making good money out of merchandise.
Right. Thank you, Awele. Peter said if you get on the microphone for me, let me find out from you what you also think. I mean, Peter is one of the producers and director for Awaybas. He's the man in charge of old films. You have KTK to his credit. So he understands merchandising. Peter, are you in any way planning to have merchandise for Awaybas?
Thank you, Arnold. Good morning to you and your listeners. Merchandising, it's something my fellow producer, Kofi Asama, and I have discussed at length how we can make other money from the movie, not necessarily the movie itself, but then outside the movie, and that includes the merchandising. But we are looking at also the commercial aspect. I mean, weighing the pros and cons. If you want to invest in merchandising, what is the movie population in Ghana? How much are we likely to make in this country? It means that we are extending beyond Ghana. So what is the budget for it? So we've done a lot of sit and talks, and we've weighed the pros and cons, as I said, and we are still considering. But it came out that it's really going to be a very tough thing to do because of the financial involvement, and of course, before any such merchandise can thrive, we are looking at probably going to pay. I'm just using this as an example, like probably going to pay Sakode or Shatawale Underground to be the first to buy it, so that the hype for it comes up, and then Arnold and then Tony Asankuma and Bo can now say, okay, this is something I need to buy. And so there are a lot of things that go into it that we've discussed, and although we are still considering, this is where it is now, that it's
But
money
is
intensive.
it achievable? Is it something that movie producers like yourself can take up and start extending ways to make money from the movies you make?
It's achievable if the movie enthusiasts in the country increase. I mean the base increase, the numbers, because of course you are still selling this film to a very small population, and so if you are not done selling your movie or recouping the money from the movie itself, you are spending some of the money again. I mean, making additional expenses and making branded t-shirts to sell to the market, branded shoe or cap and things like that. So it's possible. If I'm sure if I were to be in a country that the population is much, the conversation would be different. But in Ghana here, as we've estimated, we've done budget and everything for it, but it's really huge.
It's really huge,
and we don't think that it's something we want to rush, but it's still on the table and we are discussing it.
Must the movie sell in order to drive traffic to the merchandise, or the merchandise can actually move on its own? Even if the movie is not selling, you could still make a lot of money from the materials that you decide to sell.
No, once the movie sells, then the merchandise is also selling.
So the success of the merchandise is hinged to the movies.
Exactly, because once you are promoting the movie, people are hearing about it, then they are interested in everything in the movie.
Okay.
But now you also need to allocate budget
for that.
Budget. Exactly. But as you are allocating the budget, a lot of people keep saying, and we don't invest a lot in films, we don't do. But as you are doing that, you're also looking at, you're a business person, you're looking at, okay, as I'm investing this money, what would be the revenue I'm going to be getting back? So you are just opposing the two and not trying to just be a show boy and all
just
over the place and
invest
investing
and
and
not
pushing
make
money.
back what
Exactly.
you
Otherwise you finish and realize that you've made a successful premiere, but you're still broke and running into debt. And so of course we don't run at losses with our movies, and so this is not the time we run at a loss. And so like I said, so it's something we are still discussing, we are considering, because we want to start it. And so it's still on the table, it's not too late, it's still, because this movie will go beyond Ghana. We're planning external releases and things. So it's still something we are discussing, and it will
but is it likely to get to a point where because you'll be going beyond Ghana, even if you decide to do merchandise, you would focus on promoting it where the movie market is huge? So to speak, maybe if you decide to go to the UK or even Nigeria to promote the movie, you will do merchandise and sell it in Nigeria. Are we likely to get to that point?
It's possible, but like the old saying, charity begins at home. You see, a lot of people, excuse my language, but a lot of people do films and they are more interested in premiering it. I mean, I don't fault them for it, their own decision, so don't get me wrong.
No.
Premiering it outside the country first before they come to. But the truth is that your people relate more to the film that you are making than any other person. So if they don't see it and are happy with it and begin to make noise for you, then people go on the internet to find out about your movie and no one is talking about it, or no one from your country, the home country of release, is talking about it, and they don't even see why they should be promoting the way you are talking about to even gain that merchandise opportunity. So that is the whole point, that whatever we will start has to start from our country. And so we are not looking at going to make it work somewhere else. And I mean, if that becomes an option and someone steps in and say, okay, I'm bringing your movie to my country, so these are the plans, we are open to those options. But for us as producers, the home country is where we want to start and then move it outside. Yeah.
Right. Kofi Asamoah.
Yeah.
Asamoah has also joined. And
Yeah. I mean, the Kofa City.
Yeah. Kofa City. Yeah. Akwaba.
Yeah. Those are some many one say Facebook data or take when you are seeing common. And DJ sticker so at about 10. Okay. I mean, cancer the bears. I'm going to change him. I'm going to practice. I am buying practice. Your church at your phone, yada, Obia Swase, Obia Utumi Bar, Silver Bed Cinemas, a cram on the Western Small, a babeshe, a movie, a friend of Away Bus, yada, Munina Mossy. It was massive turnout. In fact, Westerns, where the red carpet was superior as always. And Akram also, him say, so far so good. I think say feedback in and on share Away Bus. Bloggers near the Indian Ababa, a cram or silver bed, ticket no, that's 50 Ghana. More modern some more tape, one, Motiales, still 50 Ghana, a bay 50 aquapim sea baby, into the hound over half or anything. And then stars in the Essan by Akram or away bus into our Philly Jacoya, double calibus, Felano, or Munina Eba, silver bed cinema. Merchandise and common econ and we here but Opria and her no Kotobu. Said in Penise on Pabuatia or Nantias. And or here could have sent you be my example, say Shatawali. To me say from afar you see a lot of the merchandise out there. But the question is how much of that goes to him. We live in a country where a lot of these things are less regulated. It is very difficult to even control the numbers and the figures. It is easy to regulate the people who sell and want to even invest in such merchandise. And no man saying, oh yes, so we are careful. And also, it also thrives with how successful the film is. It is a cinema, Nipan pet and cinema.
If it's not a hit movie,
Yantoa was cinema plan train a t-shirt. On top. It goes together and you see your market, Hollywood near the number to me. Hollywood, America for African market in the beton. Say Africa and Asia for the beton. Because the market is big. And they have over 6,000 cinemas across the world. The same day. Their market is huge. You know what I say, or make you a Black Panther. We be at African franchise, we be at African franchise for Black Panther, we be at West Africa, we be at East Africa, sublet. Into bucket no so even in Nigeria they have a big market, but even Nigeria has a big market no crano. Among your from merchandise because it is difficult to regulate. Open and like Peter said, it's something we discussed. Open away bus t-shirts and I kept CCR. Tomorrow somebody will print some. And you won't know, but you'll be selling. Even tickets cry and it toast me cry, you can go.
Not t-shirts.
Event, especially concert, shows. Ghana means that there's an animal. Omuchogunda. Take it to Omuchogunda. Now, I don't remember Ghana meeting Ghana Nipa Bear 4. Or you see ticket me 100 Ghana, Nipa Bear 6 or 4. Maba, I'm so Mitika is 60 Ghana. Even away bus, some people were telling people that if you buy one ticket, you get one free. Send mobile money and all that, which was all false. So we have to issue a disclaimer. That means that somebody may have been duped. It is difficult to regulate some of these things, but Superman, Spider-Man, now it has become part of us, even in Africa, because I brought from more systems no a year juma. I have no printing press be able to print it. But you cannot. You cannot stay there and say that I'm printing Superman t-shirt. No, you dare not. But I have no be able to be. I am your pen. But I just idea and can make us say merchandise there. And when your person can see maybe to say away bus, which is still in the cinema, and then 7 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And can we share away bus movie be a t-shirt back home. Maybe away bus watch me, and I be away bus BB.
I need national tickets now to anymore.
BB, but anyway, you say, and let's say, oh, buy your popcorn, and your malt, and now apple juice be. Now on
Now this is one side.
7 o'clock, bloggers you know be about away bus. Tony Sankuma Munina about Arnold Elavanyo Mensah Elavanyo Omunina Eba and then you 7:20 sharp. Let us say Awela Munina agent name. Into know what one share no Mr. Especially review for fellow filmmakers because before we went on location yet in some play. How can you shoot a movie and release in 1 month? How can you shoot a movie and release in 3 months? And wanted to make a statement that how long we stay on set to film, there's no guarantee of how quality the film will be. It's yes, Momo can and I eat your food. Oh, Kofi, say now, Koye, the industry is growing. But Obo Kohe movie now, one year or Kohe with some adrimbi. You know, when you do that, Obo says, some of them are there, so you go there to increase your blood pressure instead of going there to feel
release stress.
Exactly. All right. And then you raise 7 o'clock pepe akramo and Sasuna. And I'm a Messanka himself na bia Mama 2 pilots. 2 pilots I say another movie directed by me and my boss, my senior man Joe Sajama. Okay. I Calibos Nelle win. Imagine send Nipa Minu in Passia 7th
a pilots.
I can't go for 2 idiots. It's a kind of friend. But I can say Jimmy for me, no one can Ghana for because of video matter. 2 idiots on my pilot or more a flight plane, but more flight plane or more if we had to land the plane.
And the end of the sky.
Let's just say 2 pilots and also Friday our National Theatre. And the cast of 2 pilots in Eba Akramo, summer bed, away bus until you meet all these cast plus away bus cast.
Thank you very much, Kofi. As someone
made a statement, and I would like to disagree with him a little where he said people choose to premiere their movies outside the country, but charity begins at home. And the reason I want to define a little is that you see, when it comes to movie premiering, my view is that you first of all showcase the movie where your target audience are. I might produce a movie, everything right here in Ghana, but my audience are not necessarily in Ghana. So I might decide to premiere it in Europe first or America, wherever I deemed my audience to be, even before bringing it down here. So that is my little.
That point.
I actually didn't say that as a statement of fact. I said that
you cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a wise way to go, but I just said everybody.
I'll let you guys get back onto the
and even on that, if you look at Hollywood, before you can qualify for a Grammy or any of the Hollywood acclaimed awards, your film must be screened at Oscars in LA.
Home country.
Yes, when your film does, the origin.
Yeah.
If your film does not go through the screens in LA, it is not considered as Hollywood or qualified for Oscars or the Grammys.
Okay.
I don't know, like you're saying. Like I want to say, it is true. If maybe I do a film and I feel that this film is for European market, so that's
fine.
Premiere it there.
But wherever you premiere first, they must accept it.
Okay.
When that target audience do not accept it, the rest will.
Thank you. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
In other matters.